Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, or you find a way to lose. Hey, check this out. The judges have been picked for Canelo Alvarez against Jermell Charlo, right? And this is not only my concern, but people are already talking because we know how things go when it comes to Canelo and tough fights, which I truly believe Canelo is going to be in another tough fight with Jermell Charlo. I see the majority of people feel Canelo is going to knock Charlo out early. Some people feel over the course of the fight. So Alvarez, right? Over the course of the fight, Jermell may have moments, but he's not going to be able to stand up to Canelo's offense and pop shotting and the head movement and everything that Canelo brings to the table. I personally think Jermell has a very good chance of winning that fight, and I don't understand why people are just, not giving him credit and just considering this one of those situations where it's a payday for Charlo, and that's it. He's just being sacrificed by PBC. But let me tell you something. When you talk about this fight with Canelo, man, and the fact that these judges who are going to be judging this fight, right? These same judges have already judged Canelo fights. Now, the three men assigned, right? California's Max DeLuca, Oklahoma's David Sutherland, and New Jersey's Steve Weisfeld. All three judges have judged Alvarez fights previously, with Sutherland and Weisfeld more recently working his unanimous decision victory over Gennady Golovkin in September 2022. But I'm not concerned about that. When it comes to Canelo Alvarez, because we know that fight with Golovkin in 2022, that wasn't the Golovkin from years ago that nobody wanted to fight. Golovkin was the boogeyman. Some people say Deontay Wilder is the boogeyman in the heavyweight division. Can knock anybody out at any moment in time, will destroy a fighter. And that's why Deontay Wilder is not able to get the fights he wants. Golovkin was kind of in a similar situation. He was just fighting whoever he could get. Finally got Canelo in the ring. And I don't care what anyone says. When Canelo and Gennady Golovkin, when those guys fought, right? 2017, September. Matter of fact, almost to this day, September 16th. Golovkin beat Canelo, but they robbed Golovkin. Everybody knows they robbed Golovkin. Everybody knows that. This split draw bullcrap. They robbed that man of a win. Then, a year later, they had the rematch. And I don't care what you say. Golovkin beat Canelo in that fight. But Canelo comes, gets a majority decision, gets a win. Absolute foul. I remember watching that fight, right? It was on Facebook on a live stream. And I was watching it, and the individuals who were streaming the fight, they were Canelo fans. And I remember their tone every round, shouting at the screen, cussing at the screen. And when the fight was over, they were like, man, Canelo lost. And then when they announced Canelo as the winner versus majority decision, they weren't even excited. They were like, nah, they robbed Triple G. And I remember thinking the same thing, like, damn, you can't win a fight against Canelo unless you knock him out. And then you fast forward with Canelo and all of his fights since then outside of Bivol. Now that Bivol fight, they still tried to rob him. When Mayweather fought him, they tried to rob Mayweather. And Mayweather versus Canelo was one-sided. Canelo versus Bivol was one-sided. Actually, that was pretty ferocious. The beating that Bivol put on Canelo. So I'm going to tell you right now, I think Jermell Charlo has a good chance to get the win. But when I think about the judges, there's no way in the world Jermell Charlo can beat him on a decision. Because even if he puts on, in my opinion, a lopsided, ferocious performance like Bivol did against him, it's not going to be enough. I personally think Jermell Charlo has to go balls to the wall, let his hands go, and look for the knockout, and just let the cards fall where they fall. Because there's no way in the world he's gonna get no close decision against Canelo with judges who already judged his fights, and in Las Vegas. Simple. The one thing I will say is I'm not so sure when it comes to PBC, Al Heyman, Espinoza, and the secret society. I'm not so sure they're going to be okay with letting Jermell Charlo get sacrificed just so they can take Canelo, who's a cash cow, and push him over the fight. Whether it's Earl Spence, even though some people think that fight won't happen, I tell you, hold your horses. I think it can happen. Or Crawford, or Benavidez, or Andre, or whoever they could potentially match Canelo up with, because he has 3 fights. I don't think they're just going to sacrifice Jermell like that, but you just don't know. But that being said, for Jermell Charlo, he's got to fight him. He's got to fight him. I would like to see him, man, throw that 2-1, man. Throw that straight right hand and jab, or jab, right hand, and jab again, and get his distance. That's what Bivol was doing in that ring. His whole thing with Jermell Charlo is going to have to be distance. Because Canelo has good head movement. People don't, look, it looks simple when he's in the ring. Canelo does not get hit a lot. And as he's slipping punches and everything, he's looking to counter. He's looking to get his shots off. He's putting constant pressure on you. And this is where we could find Jermell up against the ropes early in the fight, not understanding how the hell he got on there. Because he can't end up on the ropes. Castaño got him on the ropes. He can't get on there and think he can take some left hook that he didn't see and gets clipped on the chin like Castaño got him in that first fight, and his knees buckled, then get caught with that same shot again, and his knees buckle again, and he can't expect not to go down against Canelo. Canelo's not Castaño. Canelo is breaking bones in the ring. Got to give Canelo his credit. But at the same time, we're going to see if Canelo has slowed down, if he's gotten old, or if he really was just a guy who was suffering from injuries, and that affected his performances in the last couple fights. But I tell you what, Jermell Charlo is looking young, looking strong. The inactivity is my biggest concern for him. The judges and inactivity. But we're going to see if he can make the impossible possible, because I think Jermell Charlo has all the assets and he has the potential to pull off an upset. But at the same time, Canelo is no joke, and we're going to see, because it boils down to your mental strength. And Jermell Charlo already said he's a little bit nervous. I didn't like hearing that. You already going into the fight nervous? I'm going to tell you what, there's nothing wrong with being nervous. That's natural, but nervous and scared is 2 different things. You can't come in there like fighters used to come there with Mike Tyson. They had already lost the fight before they got in the ring. Is that what we're dealing with Jermell Charlo? Well, he's already lost the fight. Hasn't even gotten in the ring yet, and my man's already lost the fight. I don't know, but we're going to see. Fight week's going to tell a whole lot. If he's still out there being nice and want to shake hands and hug and have a bromance, then that's a problem. Because, during fight week, Canelo's locked in. We're going to see what happens. But that being said, Canelo Alvarez and the judges, they're going to rob Jermell Charlo if he does not knock him out or make it so one-sided to where it's impossible for him to rob him. Like Bivol did, like Haney did to Kambosos in Australia. You got to make it that one-sided. If not, Jermell Charlo will have his second loss. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all seven continents. Y'all in the breeze.